We have a nice program this evening. As usual, Farshid is going to lead us in the prayers. And we have a nice young man who's going to lead us in the arti. And then we are going to have a reading by Kathy, a quote of Mayor Baba. And then Deneen is going to read some of her poetry. And then, of course, Jamie is going to, and his friends, are going to be singing. And then Farshid will be talking for a while. And then it'll be ended in a song. So if you'll all...
Beloved Baba, O Parvardigar,
the preserver and protector of all, you are without beginning and without end, non-dual, beyond comparison, and none can measure you. You are without color, without expression, without form, and without attributes. You are unlimited and unfathomable, beyond imagination and conception, eternal and imperishable. You are indivisible, and none can see you but with eyes divine. You always were, you always are, and you always will be. You are everywhere. You are in everything. And you are also beyond everywhere and beyond everything. You are in the firmament and in the depths. You are manifest and unmanifest, on all planes and beyond all planes. You are in the three worlds and also beyond the three worlds. You are imperceptible and independent. You are the Creator, the Lord of worlds, the knower of all minds and hearts. You are omnipotent and omnipresent. You are knowledge infinite, power infinite, and bliss infinite. You are the ocean of knowledge, all-knowing, infinitely knowing, the knower of the past, the present, and the future, and you are knowledge itself. You are all merciful and eternally benevolent. You are the soul of souls, the one with infinite attributes. You are the Trinity of truth, knowledge, and bliss. You are the source of truth, the ocean of love. You are the ancient one, the highest of the high. You are Prabhu and Parameshwar. You are the beyond God and the beyond God also. You are Parabrahma, Allah, Ladi, Yezdan, Ahura Mazda, and God the Beloved. You are named Isa, the only one worthy of worship.
we
We
repent,
repent, O God, most merciful, for all our sins, for every thought that was false or unjust or unclean, for every word spoken that ought not to have been spoken, for every deed done that ought not to have been done. We repent for every deed and word and thought inspired by selfishness, and for every deed and word and thought inspired by hatred. We repent most especially for every lustful thought and every lustful action, for every lie, for all hypocrisy, for every promise given but not fulfilled, and for all slander and backbiting. More especially also, we repent for every action that has brought ruin to others, for every word and deed that has given us pain, and for every wish that pain should befall others. In your unbounded mercy, we ask you to forgive us, O God, for all these sins committed by us, and to forgive us for our constant failures to think and speak and act according to your will and wish.
beloved
Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Glorious eternal ancient one, your face is a bright transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart Meher I give to you to keep. Creator yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar, who through compassion the three worlds maintains. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world wheel that bears me unto death. Unless you who are infinitely kind break the wheels of which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my heart, which deeply do I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour. You are myself, I sing to you in praise, and beg your love to bear me through the days, till you, the ever-living perfect one, illumine my darkness with your shining sun. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Baba Kodaiji. I would just like to say one thing. It's very rare these days, because so many people have passed away that met Baba. And to have 3 people here today who met Meher Baba, all I can say is, wow. And we have Renaud, who met Baba as a child. Michael somebody.
Michael.
I think everybody knows Michael LePage. And then there's a woman not too many people know, but Ralph and Hernandez, who ran the center for quite a while. Libby is their daughter. Oh, and we forgot Anne. Oh my God, 4 people. I'm going to pass out. 4 people. This is like Baba's miracle today. So with that, we're going to bring Kathy up and then Deneen up.
At the end, I need to get a picture together.
Yeah.
Hi. All right, David sent me this. It's really good. The scope of service is not limited to great gestures like giving big donations to public institutions. They also serve who express their love in little things, a word that gives courage to a drooping heart, or a smile that brings hope and cheer in the midst of gloom, has as much claim to be regarded as service as onerous sacrifices and heroic self-denials. A glance that wipes out bitterness from the heart and sets it throbbing with a new love is also service, although there may be no thought of service in it. When taken by themselves, all these things seem to be small, but life is made up of many such small things. If these small things were ignored, life would be not only unbeautiful, but unspiritual. Avatar Meher Baba.
Okay, I was reading some poems the other day, and somebody, Farshid, requested that I read some today. Can you hear me okay? Oh, now you can. Stay closer to the mic. Shoot, I just lost it. I know you know me. The coming, the going, the frustrated thought, the worry, the love, oh the love. I stand, I sit, I sing, I dance, I sleep. For the love, oh the love. I love, and that is all there is. Can you help me sleep while awake? And awake from all this sleeping? Show me how to live a full life while being dismantled inwardly. I am smitten. I am smitten. I am smitten. There is no freedom for me but to languish in love. Thank you for the simple things, because they're simple, but they mean everything. Peace of mind, kindness, sleep, family, rocks, water, food, shelter, love. Your body doing what it's supposed to do. I'm crying. Hold the ones who don't have these today. Hold them. That's all I ask. And thank you that where there is loss, there is still you. And where we have lost, we know now what it is to have. All somehow is you. Today, thank you. Today is always yours and your allowance.
Thank you, Deneen. And now we have some special people here. Of course, Jamie's not included in that. He's a regular. But we have John, Mark, excuse me. That's how, I don't even, and Lisa. So if you'll come up, I will disappear.
Farshid asked for some Hafiz, so we're going to do, David asked for 2 songs, but my Hafiz song is about 3 songs worth, so we're only going to do 1. It's going to be mostly acoustic. I couldn't get it to move.
Go ahead and weep, heartbroken nightingale, for the world is the place of weeping, and never trust the treacherous smile of the faithless rose. It is a promise that she never intends on keeping. is in ruins, and these bodies of yours and mine will not last long. Life is such a fragile thing, it is departing upon the wind. Come, have a drink with me, for soon it will be gone. I am the slave of that great one who renounces all these worldly things, rejecting all beneath the blue dome of the sky. Grieve not for this passing show, but remember something I once heard from a fellow traveler who was passing you by. He said, untie the knot binding up your forehead, accept with joy what fate provides for you and me. Your destiny is fixed, we may not open it, though we may try, we simply haven't got the key. So go ahead and weep, heartbroken nightingale, for this world is the place of weeping, and never trust the treacherous smile of the faithless rose. It is a promise that she never intends on keeping. Drunken and alone, I was sitting in the tavern. Oh, how can words ever express the things I heard? The angel Gabriel came to me, bringing a message from the other world. With his angelic voice, he spoke to me these words. Said, great falcon, can't you see? You are a noble bird of vision. You don't belong here in this world of pain and vice. A nest in heaven waits for you, a perch to suit your lofty stature. You'll find it high atop the tree of paradise. Oh, can't you hear? The royal falconer is whistling for you. They are calling you back to paradise from here below. Oh, tell me why are you so reluctant to return there? What is it about this world that fascinates you so? Go ahead and weep, heartbroken nightingale, for this world is the place of weeping, and never trust the treacherous smile of the face. of advice I learned long ago. It was taught to me by a master of the way. If you will take it to your heart and then put it into practice, you may find it is of use to you one day. Expect nothing from this world, for she will never be faithful. She is unstable, always changing with the wind. Do not be tempted by her smile, for she is nothing but an aging bride throughout the ages. She has been married to 1,000 men. Now tell me why do you poets nurture so much envy for these lovely verses that Hafiz has strung for you? His gracious heart and lovely speech were given to him. By the hand of God, so what else could he do? Well, go ahead and weep. Heartbroken nightingale, oh, this world is the place of weeping. And never trust the treacherous smile of the faithless rose. It is a promise that she never intends on keeping. It is a promise that she never intends on keeping. It is a promise that she never intends on keeping.
Remember. Oh, okay. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about. Because Baba said all talks either spiritual, none is basically idle talk. But one thing I was thinking about to talk about was love. Love itself, basically. Love for God and love for our fellow men. And also the degree of love. That is, I think we should understand, distinguish between, what the degrees of love are, and distinguish that between the divine love and the love that we talk about in the normal sense. Baba actually has an article before coming here. I read it through. I don't want to go through all those, but I kind of briefly can tell you that what Baba is talking about is the whole universe is made out of love. There is nothing else besides love. Even the hate that we call it hate is the opposite of love. Is love, but it's in the opposite direction. It's like a force which is a negative force to the opposite direction. And the love, it has many degrees. Baba starts by talking about love of a magnet or an electron, proton, from the rudimentary love all the way to human love, which is higher degrees. So love of magnet is visible. One can see, that the metals can kind of attract to the magnet. And as the body of this soul, which is in the magnet, dies and becomes a vegetable, and slowly into fish and animal and birds and whatnot, all the way to human being. The love is there. Even the love of a lion for a deer, that's love. The lion kind of meditates on the deer and wants to grab the deer and make it one with himself. So all his concentration and meditation is in becoming one with the beloved, which is the deer. So runs after deer, catches the deer, and finally is satisfied. And then Baba talks about love of politicians, love of selfless love and selfish love, and all that. So Baba distinguishes between all these love until we come to human being. Now the human being love, Baba again talks about love of a couple who love their son and they raise the son. The father says, okay, the son is growing and slowly takes over my business and helps me in the business or farming or whatever. So loves the son that way. But after some time, if the son doesn't obey his father, the love of the father diminishes, and the father doesn't even want to talk to the son, and he even throws him out of the house. But then Baba says the love of a mother is different, is always there. Mm-hmm. No matter if the child is grown now and he's not an obedient child, still the mother loves him. So that's kind of like a selfless love to a degree, because the mother now loves the son no matter what, but only loves the son of his son or her son basically, and doesn't love somebody else's son. So that's a selfless but a less selfless. I mean selfish, but a less selfish love. Until eventually becomes a selfless love. And that selfless love has value. And that love slowly can grow to become the love that the master desires. Now, for those who have read maybe the book Creation and Its Causes, which was all the discourses that Meher Baba gave to all the Meher Ashram and Prem Ashram boys. Baba talks about a lot of different things, about the universe, about the creation, about the planets, about different planets with human being on them, planets with only vegetable on them, planets only with rocks on them and whatnot. And also talks about the religion, talks about God. It's a magnificent book to read. And also the spiritual journey of the soul, how a soul enters the planes of consciousness and eventually sees God face to face and finally becomes one with God. But at the end of all these discourses, Baba emphasizes to the boys, create love, create love. And then Baba talks about how to create love. So, to create that love that the Master is now pleased, because the Master has to be pleased of our love to give us the final divine love, which comes in the fifth plane of consciousness. So that divine love is gained only by the grace of the Master, and nobody can create that love. But we can create love to the extent that the Master is now very pleased with our love and can give us that divine love. And that love also is not gained automatically because of the sanskaras that we have accumulated through many lifetimes, considering subhuman form, and then all the way in human form, which Baba said 8,400,000 times a soul has to be born in human body until, becomes God realized. The sanskaras are the barrier to the love. One cannot really love unless the force of sanskaras are slowly weakened and diminished. Now, to weaken the force of sanskaras, Baba talks to the boys again and explains to them, is to concentrate and meditate on the image of the beloved and also repeat his name. So repetition of his name and imaging him within you would be the best detergent to clean the filthy clothes, which is your sanskaras. And one little thing that I found very much, useful and nice, I'd like to share it with you. And Baba says, and this is, Baba says, do it every night. If those who love me will just 1 minute be silent in their minds just before they go to bed, and think of me and picture me in the silence of their minds, and do that regularly, then this veil of ignorance, this veil of ignorance that we have will disappear, and this bliss that I speak of and which all long for, we shall experience. So let's be honest to each other and see, because we have to be like, Baba says, I am like a gauge that man can measure what he is and what he can become. And here is a gauge, Have we experienced that, what Baba says, that bliss? If we haven't, that means, we have to work. The work of love, the work of, doing this until that is accomplished. That veil is broken through. It's like like the sound barrier that the airplane goes through and breaks the sound barrier. Here is the barrier of sanskaras that one has to go through and break the barrier of sanskaras. Not all the sanskaras are diminished before one gains this love, because Baba says, when I give that gift of love, the burning of sanskaras, whatever is left over, is finished. That starts and burns all those sanskaras. So we still will have sanskaras before the final, divine love that Baba gives. One other thing that also I kind of love to, share it with all is about the love, the pure love that Baba talks about. And that is also been quoted in Lord Mayor also. Love me and you will know me. But I am such a reality that is extremely difficult to know me. The price is love. No repetition of God's name, no penance, and no meditation is necessary. Only love, and such love that it annihilates your ego. Now, let me pause for a minute and talk about the meditation that the Premashram boys were given as an exercise. And compare it to the meditation of the mind that many yogis do. Meditation of the mind has no value, has some value, but not really a real value, because the meditation of the mind is just relaxes the mind and the body and basically is good for health and, the whole purpose mainly is to have a control of your mind. But if you have that kind of a meditation, you can use it towards the meditation of the heart, which is a meditation that you sit with your beloved and just merge yourself in him and his love and bring him to you. So you image him and repeat his name, and it's like him being in front of you and you are face to face with your beloved. That meditation has value. That has the most value and eventually will break through all the barrier of the sanskaras. So that is the meditation that Baba talks about. But here, what Baba says, the price, no repetition of God's name, no penance and no meditation is necessary. It's not necessary if you have that love. But if you don't have that love, then you can, use that meditation if you have it, if you have that skill, because that's a skill. Only love, and such love that it annihilates your ego. This means your love should be so deep that it makes you forget yourself and the world. This experience will leave you desireless, dazed, and confounded. This is real love. You have feelings for me. Then Baba again, kind of wants to distinguish between the real love and the feeling. We all have feeling for Baba, that's why we are here. But do we have that real love? That's a question that we have to ask ourselves and gauge ourselves against the real love. You have feelings for me in your hearts, and because of it, you may remember me often during the day, but you do not continuously. This feeling or devotion, though good, is not love. It should not be mistaken for love, because that real love, which is to see and know God, cannot be created. It has to be bestowed. It is bestowed through the grace of the Master, and such grace is confirmed on a very, very lucky few. Still, do not be discouraged. Although you do not have the love that is needed, you have a deep feeling for me. Try always to remember me and to speak of me. This is the best beginning, the determination to be ready to receive the Master's grace. If this continues, a day will come when you will be the lucky one to receive the great gift, the bestowal of my love, real love. To be ready, perpetuate this feeling in your heart and increase it, making it deeper and deeper. How to remember? How to begin? Remember me before starting and after finishing any work. Think of me before doing anything. If you have to write something, remember me before starting, and then mentally say, Baba, is it you, not I, who is writing? So, kind of wanted to bring that up to a lot of people because, I remember at the time that Espandiar was talking about love and love for God. This is one of the Pramashram boys that I'm talking about. Some people would ask, what do you mean by, the real love, the divine love, and the deep love, and, creating love and all that. So, the answer comes through Baba's words, that we have to always look at a saint and love personified, which is Baba himself. Baba is love personified. So we have to measure what we are and who we are, what we are, and what we can become, which is become like Baba. I remember Erwin Locke was talking about Baba asked him, what do you want? And Erwin said, Baba, I want to become like you. So he said, stick with me, be with me, stay with me. And that staying actually was a good gesture for all of us. That means that you want to, gain that love, become one with Baba, you have to have his presence all the time. Meher Baba dropped his physical form to be in the heart of his lovers. So that means that he is in our heart. He's there available, but we have to make that effort of remembering him, make that effort of bringing him to ourselves. Dress our soul, like Darwin said, dress our soul with Baba. And those are the great souls that were around, Darwin, Espandiar, and many, many others, Kitty, Elizabeth, and the Mandalis. They were real living examples that those of us who were lucky to be with them and talk to them, we realized that how to value that real love and how to create that real love. I kind of want to open the floor to anybody who has any maybe questions or I usually, yes.
I just want to say that there is a different way, and that's just to be a fortunate slave. By finding inside myself that love which Baba is. Basically, I need not do anything. There's different aspects of loving, but one aspect is accept his grace, which we can't do,
Right.
but which he came to do for us. I mean, his grace, his love exists now. It exists here, it exists in everybody's heart.
Exactly. Yes.
So if we look for it, he'll reveal it without pretending that I'm doing it. Just see what he gives to me.
So, but you bring his presence to you, right?
No.
I mean, you have to make some kind of an effort to.
I pretend I'm making an effort, but it's he
Yeah, I mean,
who's making the effort. It's true, it's a game. We have to play,
yeah.
but it's just a game. He gives the love to us. I mean, he tears away all the veils. I can't. Malcolm can't do that. Are you kidding me? Malcolm is the veil.
Yeah.
So let him do his work.
Right. Yeah, Hafiz as a couplet, what Malcolm says, reminded me of that. Hafiz as a couplet says, حافظ تو خود حجاب خودی خود از میان برخیز خود از میان بردار. This is Hafiz, oh Hafiz, you yourself are the veil. Remove yourself.
But we can't do that.
Well,
How can the self remove itself? It is possible to renounce my limited self
by His grace.
Baba's.
Yeah.
And he said, I have come to help you accept God's grace. I mean, he's the facilitator, he's the lubricant in the whole process. And believe me, he's very good at that.
Yeah. I mean, He is the very being of in every being. So, who are we to say anything? I mean, it's him. He's playing this whole game. Is his actually? You're right.
Yeah, he's doing the work.
Yeah.
So what do I have to do?
There is no I. It's all him.
But I'm saying the aspiration, instead of me pretending I'm doing it, is to accept He gives it every moment of every day of every person's existence. It's available.
Yeah.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba. Yes.
Did Espandiar tell you any stories of his time at Brahma Ashram? Or your uncle was a teacher there too, right?
No, my two uncles were also in Meher Ashram and Prem Ashram.
Did any of them tell you stories of being there?
Yeah, there are a lot of stories. I can tell you one of the stories that maybe happened to Espandiar. You know, there were 14 boys who Agha Baidul was one of the Mandalis from Yaz, actually. Under Baba's instructions, he gathered these boys, 14 of them, from Iran. But there were other Iranians too, like Alaba was also Iranian, but he went from Bombay. And Chota Baba, he went from Bandar Abbas. He heard it, through some other magazine, and that's how he ended up there. But these 14 boys, Baidul took them, and Espandiar was the oldest and the tallest, and then, comes down to my uncles, who were the youngest and the shortest, at the end of the line. The story that Espandiar, said was that he went there to study, become a doctor and an engineer, because Baba said, I'm establishing this school, free boarding school. I give them all their clothing, their food, accommodation, everything, free. And free education. Whoever wants, they can come. So they go. They go under this intention that, at least Espandiar's intention was to study. My two uncles, my grandfather was was poor, a farmer. The poor farmer didn't have any money, and had many kids. He said, I'm going to send these two boys, they were twins, go to Meher Baba's school. So they go. And then Espandiar had heard about Meher Baba, and because Baba was his mother's uncle. And when you go to Yaz, hopefully you go soon.
Pendu was your mother's side.
No, not Pendu.
Oh, I'm
Baidul.
sorry. Baidul, I'm sorry. You said Baba.
Baidul was Espandiar's mother's uncle. And if you go to Yaz, Baidul's house is here, and Espandiar is next to it, actually. So every evening, Espandiar's mother, who was a Baba lover, she would take Espandiar, like 5, 6 years old, and would go to Baidul's house, and Baidul would talk about Baba, and he had pictures of the Baba all over the walls. So Espandiar liked it. He would go in the rooms and take a look at the pictures and all that. And when Espandiar grows up, and now he's in the 5th grade, that he reads this article of Meher Baba's school in one of the local magazines called Hablul Mateen. And he quits his school, comes back, and tells his mother, I want to go to Baba's school. And the mother says, oh, great, good, I'm very happy and all that. But the father didn't want it. He says, no, I'm not going to let my son go to a foreign country, to India, and never heard, know anything about it. No. Espandiar says, okay, if this is the case, I'm not going to go to school at all. This is it, I'm done with the school. And then after some time, this is the boy is running idle, he's not going to school. He says, okay, the mother eventually says, let him go. So he goes, and now he's sitting in his class, and under this intention, that Meher Baba is a very holy man. This is how much he knew from his childhood, but he didn't know who really Baba was. But he's sitting in the school, and Khosrow Afsari, who was Rao Sahib, one of the Mandalis, was his teacher. So he starts reading from this Bustan of Sadi, the book from Sadi, who was I think Baba said he was on the second plane of consciousness when he was writing this. And one of the couplets says, رسد آدمی به جایی که به جز خدا نبیند بنگر که تا چه حد در مقام آدمیت. And what it says that man will get to a point that sees nothing except God. So see how high the abode of human being is. When this was read to him, Espandiar jolts back and says, is this really true? That man can see God and become God? And Khosrow Afsari goes on and tells him about, more couplets of Hafiz, and tells him the whole universe was created because of this love game of, God realizing himself basically through all these souls, which are one with him basically. Eventually, the whole thing is one, but it's like. So anyway, he goes on explaining this to him, and Espandiar says that was it. When I heard that the whole purpose of creation is one becoming one with God, what's the purpose of me being here, getting education and becoming a doctor and an engineer? What's the purpose of that? And then, I get married, have a few kids, and then die. Is that all? Is that a good thing to do? I don't want all that. So after that, he says he set the book aside and he started just gazing in the sky, looking for God. He didn't know where God is, but gazing in the sky to try to find God. And Khosrow takes the report to Baba, that Espandiar is not paying attention to his school anymore. And that night, Espandiar said, that night I wanted to run away and go in the woods and think of God and eventually find God. But he said, I didn't know what Baba was God himself. But then what happens, when he was thinking about this, he was, in his thought, suddenly he sees Khosrow Afsari got up, and then he looks back and he says, Baba is right behind him. So he comes to, bow down to Baba, and, Baba embraces him and holds him like there, right there. And starts asking him questions, Espandiar, what's the problem with you? Why don't you study? Don't you want to, are you homesick? You want to go home? You want to go to your parents? Espandiar says, no, Baba, no, Baba. And finally he says, if you don't tell me where you want to, why you don't study, I'll send you to your uncle in Bombay. Then Espandiar said, oh, that would be good actually, in his mind. Because I can go there and then run away. Then Baba, all knowing, he said, no, actually, if you don't tell me why you're not studying, I'll send you back to Iran, to your parents. He says, oh my God. Then he thought about going back to Iran. My dad wants me to get married or help him in the farm. I don't want all that. So then he says, Baba, I want to see God. And when he says, I want to see God, Baba says, come with me. He grabs him from the school, goes to the next door, which was actually Baba's office. And then Espandiar said, Baba covered himself in a white sheet and laid down on this little bed that was there, and had Espandiar sit on the floor. So Espandiar sat on the floor for a while, and Baba was under this sheet, and then he came back. He came back out. He said when Baba went under the sheet, before he went, he was rosy, beaming. And when he came out of it, it was like Baba being under a lot of stress, physically, and yellow, pale. And people asked him, why do you think that happened? And Espandiar said, I think Baba was taking a lot of my sanskaras, away, so I can, go through this path. And then he brought me out from the backside, which was for those who have been to India, where Muhammad, where Dharamsala is, behind Dharamsala. So he comes back there, and then Baba calls the rickshaw in the museum, if you've been there. And then the Mandali was waiting for Baba to pull him up. And Baba goes up on the rickshaw and takes Espandiar up, also up on the rickshaw. And then Baba is sitting, the rickshaw is very small. And so Baba is sitting, and Espandiar goes up, but there is no place for him to sit. So he's standing in front of Baba. And the rickshaw, the Mandali starts pulling it. And in the old days, there were a lot of rock, actually, and they had to go through the village, the Arangan village. And as they're going, the roads are bumpy. So Espandiar is about to fall, that Baba says, hold on to my arm. So he held on to Baba's arm, and then they get up, get on the hill. Baba now treating him as a child, but in the meantime, wants to show him the path, because he wants to see God. So Baba gestures to him, get off, and Baba comes down, and then Baba, gestures, and the Mandali is reading Baba's gestures. That, did you see, Baba is saying, did you see how bumpy the road was? And Espandiar says, yes, Baba, I saw that. Then he says, well, if you haven't held on to my arm, what would have happened? Happened? Espandiar says, Baba, I have fallen off. Then Baba says, a spiritual path is exactly the same way. If you don't hold on to me, you will fall off. He says, from now on, if you want to see God, I'll show you God, but you have to obey me. 100% implicit obedience. And then he says, from now on, you keep silence. And from now on, I am your mother, I am your father, I am your brother, I am your sister, I am your family, I am your everything. Think of me and nothing else. And then Baba tells him, if he breaks his silence, you should go see Sidhu, which one of the Mandali at the time. And then Sidhu would take him to Baba. So he said, my work started from there, and the Prem Ashram actually started then. It was all there, ashram, and now somebody wants to see God, so the Prem Ashram started. And then slowly other kids, came to Prem Ashram, one by one. So that, I'm going to stop there. It's a long story. But let's see if anybody else has any questions.
But Baba, Espandiar was at the third plane of consciousness at that time.
This is when I read in a book later that Baba had said, Espandiar, when being in Prem Ashram, was on the third plane of consciousness. Yeah.
Can you tell the story where, I don't know if it was Espandiar or Chota Baba was meditating and Baba came through the wall?
Oh, that was Espandiar,
Yeah.
Baba gave him this meditation of the heart that we talked about earlier. So Baba had asked them to repeat his name and image him within him. Imaging really helps. Now, for those who don't know, how to image him, the best way is, this is what Espandiar taught us when we were younger. To look at a picture of Baba that you love the most, and then slowly close your eyes, and then look again, close your eyes, until that imprint is now within your third eye when you have closed your eyes. And that, you keep that image, and then you love him. Baba is now within your third eye with you, and you love him. And that, he says, slowly helps you to progress through the path. So anyway, going back to your question, when he was doing all these, practice, Baba, in the middle of the night, he would come. And, he said, I didn't have much sleep. I would lie down, maybe rest a little bit, and then get up and do my work. He said, at some point I would see the stars coming out of me. It was like the stars coming out of me. And then whenever Baba would come, I would feel his presence, his physical presence, from a distance. And while I was, I had my eyes closed, and, he would approach, I would kind of would see him behind the thick wall of, concrete, which was, the water tower, basically. I would see him and feel him there. And then when he was right at the threshold of the door, I would open my eyes, and there he was. So that was, those are the experiences that he had. And then, he said, on the third plane of consciousness, and even on the second plane of consciousness, all these experiences will come. That, one hears the celestial music, beautiful music. He said, it's so beautiful that you get enchanted. If you are not careful, you get stuck. And then also fragrance. He said, the fragrance of so beautiful, so nice of a fragrance that you cannot compare to anything in the world, not even the best roses or whatnot. So those were all his experiences that you were talking about. Now I'll tell you something that I did, which is kind of funny, but it might also be in the meantime, something, where he is, where he was. In 1989-90, my sister calls me. I was here, studying, and then my sister calls and says, "I want to go to India with Espandiar, and if you want to come, we'd like you to come to be there to translate." And I don't want to go through the details. I have a lot of problem with the immigration of American immigration. I was almost kicked out, but I said, I'm going to go. I went. Now, again, a lot of other things happened that I don't want to go into the detail, but what happened, one day I'm sitting with Espandiar in the Dharamsala, the place that was his school, but now, had bed and we could stay there. So he said, he likes to stay there. Although NPR was open, but he said, I want to stay here. So I said, I'm going to stay with him. So we stayed there. He was on one bed, I was on the other bed, and all the rest of the bed were empty, and we were the only two residents in the Dharamsala. So now, based on what he had taught me in the past, we went into this mood of, meditation of the heart, thinking of Baba and loving him and all that. And it went on for a while, and then he opened his eyes, I opened my eyes, and we kind of looked at each other. I saw him beaming and very, delightful and very happy. I thought this is the best moment that I can talk to him a little bit about, spirituality. Before going there in that year, I had read in the Best of Glow that Baba had said Espandiar was on the third plane of consciousness when he was in Premashram, and I didn't know what state he was in at the time that I met him, but also, reading God Speaks, those who have read it, Baba talks about, the souls on higher planes, they can bring other souls to their own level. So I said, hey, here is a free ticket, So, kind of gently and with a smile, I kind of brought it up. I said, Amu. Amu means uncle in Persian, means father's brother. Although he wasn't my father's brother, but he was even closer to my father's brother because, we grew up, with him when my uncles were in Shiraz, my blood-related uncles. They were in a different city. So he was really very close. So I said, Amu, I heard that I read that you were on the third plane of consciousness when in premashram. Now I don't know what plane of consciousness you have. But also I read in God Speaks that other souls can bring, souls on higher planes of consciousness can bring other souls to their own level. Why don't you bring me to your own level? You know what he did? He put his hand in his pocket and he brought a bunch of pistachio raisins and things like that that he had brought from Iran to share with Muhammad and others. So he brought it out and he said, I can help, but it's not like this that I can put it in your hand. Mm-hmm. And then I questioned him, what do you mean by that? He said, you have to work. Mm-hmm. He said, you have to work. And then the work was the one that we earlier talked about. Imaging the beloved and loving him within, keeping his presence, and keeping his constant companion. That was the work. He said, I've been doing this for 30 years now. At the time he told me that, he said, I've been doing this for 30 years. And I haven't got anybody yet. But that was his humbleness.
Do you have the pistachios in your pocket still?
No, I ate them all. Okay.
Shells and all, right?
Huh? Any other questions? Or, Yeah, those are the golden ages, golden days. It was nice to be with these premashram boys.
Well, in the I have one more thing. In the film that you and Shaheen did as Espandiar, you talk about when he told you that what plane he was on and how he went unveiled, right? Mm-hmm. You want to share that?
Yeah, now here is something that I like to ask everybody else. I know that Baba, based on what you said, but we get back to that. Based on what the Mandalis said, and based on what Espandiar said, it's two different things. Espandiar said, all the souls, he said, absolutely, there is no exception. All the souls have to go through the planes of consciousness to become God realized. But the Mandalis said, Baba takes, and this is some of the Baba lovers have said, that a lot of us, Baba will take us veiled. Now here is a distinction. I know that the Mandalis, Baba took them veiled because they had this duty bound by him because of his universal work. They had to be like that. They had to be veiled. Otherwise, they cannot be intoxicated between a work that Baba had assigned to them. So that was impossible. That's why they had to be. But for a normal Baba, this is what Espandiar said, that we have to work and we have to go through the planes of consciousness. Now the planes of consciousness Baba talks about in God Speaks and also in Creation and its Causes and many other places, and about the experiences that these planes of consciousness one will have, like on the third plane of consciousness or second especially one, hears the celestial music and, the fragrance and all that, and on the third plane of consciousness one can raise even a chicken or, birds or whatever, animals. And on the fourth plane of consciousness one can raise dead, a human being dead, and, all kinds of things. So has infinite power. And then on the fifth plane of consciousness, the divine love will come, and one will be in the mental plane, can read any mind and whatnot. And on the sixth plane, one is face to face with God, sees God face to face, not with the external eyes, although. And then on the seventh, basically, one is with God. So, and then Baba talks about also the experiences of the soul, you know, and how they get stuck in the planes, maybe, and all that. Now, to me, from what I experienced from these great souls that were around Baba, like Espandiar went unveiled. But I kind of felt that he went unveiled, but not completely unveiled. Because he explained his fourth plane of consciousness. And the fourth plane of consciousness was really something miraculous to me, because he felt infinite power within himself, that he said, I'm going to use this power and see if I can, lift the book off the shelf. Now, I don't want to go through the details of when this happened and how, but anyway, he said that I tried to lift the book off the shelf, but I couldn't. And then I said, well, what a stupid thing. Why do I want to lift the book off the shelf? I better use this infinite power that I feel and I have within myself to love Baba even more. Yeah. He said, I captured this and send it towards love. He said, at that time, I loved so much that I was feeling I am in the shoreless ocean of love. He said, then I felt that divine love came to me. That was the divine love that Baba said. And then he said that after that, he was basically on the fifth. So Baba gave him that, but he blocked it because he didn't want Espandiar to do miracles. So he blocked it, but he had him release that towards loving him. And then that pushed him from the fourth to the fifth plane of consciousness. And then later years in his life, from the conversation they had and all that, he was on the sixth plane of consciousness before he dropped his body. So he went unveiled. And sometimes he would say, I see myself one with Baba, but comes and goes. And we asked him, why is that? I mean, if you are merged in Baba, because he said, I'm sometimes merged in Baba. He said, if you are merged in him, why are you still keep holding your body? Why are you still here? He said, because of the leftovers and scholars. I'm here. I know that David wants me to shut up. I can't say anymore.
And the cancer, right? He felt he could cure himself from cancer, but chose not to.
He cured himself from many diseases, and he aged until 100 years old. Wow. But he didn't cure himself from the cancer, but the cancer didn't kill him.
It didn't kill him.
I mean, those, they have the power to do that. But he cured a few others that I know of.
And then other people,
Yeah. I mean, just to help them so that they can be in their body and love Baba more. That's what he said. He said, I'll help you that much, not to be there and become a materialistic person. Any other things? We're good? Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
And Jamie, and hopefully Mark and Lisa will end the program with a lovely, lovely whatever.
Yeah.
Lovely whatever.
And I will say, thank you, Farshid.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba.
You can't go out. That's what we always talk about. Yeah.
No, A minor and C.
We're fine. No, just
Jamie. Jamie, there's a question from the audience.
Yes.
Where did you get this magnificent suit?
From Bapu, the Aaron Gown tailor.
Thank you.
I would rise up if I only heard from you one kind or loving word, like the sacred bird of paradise. Up into your arms I would rise. If you would only let me be your slave, I would depart this world of time and space. I swear by all that's good and true, I would rise up just to be with you. I would rise up, I would rise up, I swear by all that's good and true, I would rise up just to be with you. From this dry world I would rise like dust, for in your loving hand I trust. But if you don't send rain to bring my life anew, I will rise like dust just to be with you. Oh, when will you reveal yourself to me? Your matchless beauty, let me see. Let my life on this earth at last be through, that I might rise up just to be with you. I would rise up, I would rise up. Let my life on this earth at last be through, that I might rise up just to be with you. I've grown old now with lines upon my face, but if you would only take me into your embrace, in the night my youth you would revive, dancing up from my grave, as a young man I would rise. If you would sit at my tomb with wine and song, you would find out before very long your presence there my death would defy. I would rise up in the night. If at the hour of my death you would let me see just one glimpse of your beauty, like Hafiz, with this world I would be through, and I would rise up just to be with you. I would rise up, I would rise up, like Hafiz, with this world I would be through, and I would rise up just to be with you.
Thank you all. Anyway, I always like to end the meeting by saying there's only 2 words that we ever have to remember. Jeva.